Good morning, America. I'm Brian Long. Today's top story. Hard argument in Congress today between Thomas Jefferson and Alexander Hamilton. The debate is over. Structure of foreign policy, economics, and who should govern us. We have them joining us today, and we'd like to show you what they have to say about today's hot topic.
I, for one, have faith in common people, especially the farmers. If we just provide them with proper information, they can make good decisions for all of us in the country.
Are you kidding me? Common people are motivated by their passions and their desires, and that's just not right for government. We need to have people that are strongly educated and that have power to lead our people.
What this country needs is a strong states government, one where the states holds all the power and they have more power over the central government. We need strict interpretation of the Constitution, and we need to protect all the individuals' liberties and not restrict them. As for the National Bank, we need one where it can pay off debts and not build up credit. And it's unnecessary to build one in the first place. We should let the states handle their debts.
The greater the debt, the greater the credit, and I urge Congress to adopt a bill to pass us to be able to put all of our money into banks so that the large amount of debt isn't accumulating up in our state.
This will increase the central government's power, and we don't want that because the states are obligated to have their own power and to have more power than the central government, so one government doesn't rule over all of them.
What people fail to realize is that the difficult part is making sure that the government governs the people. If you want to know more information, you can take out my autobiography, Alexander Hamilton, and you can learn about the struggle.
That's all for today's edition of Freedom News. Ladies and gentlemen, today joining us, I have the representative of Maryland, Lucas Kotz. Nice to meet you.
How you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks for asking. We're here to find out what exactly is going down in the merry land. So I heard there's all these issues with the bank imposing taxes. How did all this start?
Well, you see, we just simply passed legislation to tax banks in Maryland. But however, James W. McClue, the cashier of a Baltimore branch of the bank, he refused to pay the taxes, and we therefore sued him for going against the state's laws.
I obviously feel you are correct, but can you back that up?
Yes, I can. In the Constitution, in the 10th Amendment, it obviously says that anything that's not written in the Constitution, the states have the right to determine what they do with the laws.
I see. Are you happy with the verdict? Disappointed?
I'm very disappointed because John Marshall is mentioned in the Supreme Clause, which the laws of the government, the central government, have authority over the state's rights. But meanwhile, we had the right to come up with the laws ourselves. So they're just going on the word of the Constitution.
Uh-huh. All right, we have another guest coming in, so any last comments before you must depart?
Yes, I do. The government should not take away any state's rights where they can make up any laws they can. It was strictly written in the Constitution to prevent the central government becoming too powerful and dictating all the laws that the state should follow.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, it was great having you.
You too.
Hope to see you again soon. Now we have joining us Judge Jonathan Marshall. Coming in. How do you do?
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Great.
I like your shirt.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. What led to your decision in this case?
Well, back when I served in the Continental Army during the American Revolutionary War, the government was too weak and too poor. This is why it's so important, very important, to have a strong central government, which is why I based my decision on federal power to ensure the safety on the citizens of the United States of America.
One more question. In your opinion, do you feel that there's any danger in having the ability to impose taxes on today's banks?
Well, I believe the power to tax holds the power to destroy. If Maryland or any state has power to tax a bank or businesses, it will also encompass the power to annihilate the very institute. It is the constitutionally necessary for the federal government to have a national bank.
Yes. Thank you, Judge Marshall. We value your input. Thanks for coming today.
Love you very much, sir. 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation conceived in liberty and dedicated the proposition that all men are created equally.
Little black submarines operate up.
Hello, Mr. Burdett. How do you feel about slavery?
As a proud white man, I think that slaves should not have any rights, and the Constitution only protects the slave owners and not the slaves themselves. And I don't think they should have rights at all.
How do you feel about the establishment of the Emancipation Proclamation?
Well, I think that if we take out slavery, that's going to destroy the economy a lot. And the United States is like, they depend on slavery because of the cotton. And I think it's just going to be a terrible move by the government. And I feel that if we have an Emancipation Proclamation that it's like discriminate towards the southern states, and I feel like as a southern farmer, slave owner, I feel like that's not going to be a good plan by the president.
Thank you for your time. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Good morning, America. I'm Brian Mollick. I'm here with...
Sarah Gomez.
That's right. And how do you feel about the abolishment of slavery?
I feel like abolishing slavery is one of the best ideas. People should have the right to live their own lives, and even it doesn't depend on color. I also feel like won't affect the economy at all, because we can get advanced machines and eliminate slavery, and it'll still be a good economy.
How do you think it affects the economy?
It affects the southern economy because their economy relied on slavery, because that's all they used the slaves to do.
Hello?
Hello.
What's your name?
Lucas Cox.
All right, cool. How do you feel about slavery?
Well, I think that the states have the right to determine if slavery should be prohibited or not, because it's against the 10th Amendment because states have the right to determine whatever they believe in if it's not written in the Constitution.
That's right. Well, obviously, we see the opinions in the field. We're going to go back to the studio. Thank you, Brian Mollick. Well, that's today's news. For Freedom News, I'm Brian Mollick. Have a good night, America.
It's like just like that. Then you spin and go inside her arms. Let me swing.
Okay, 1.
108.
1,
Jesus.
1, 2, 3.
It's not the same without the music.